What's up everyone, my name's PC from Charlie and Cell. Some rather surprising news has just dropped. Some of you may not find this surprising, but either way, Mark Rubin, the executive producer of Infinity Ward, has now left Infinity Ward and Activision and is no longer associated with the studio whatsoever. So going forward, we're never going to see Mark Rubin again. And when it comes to Infinity Ward's next game in 2016, he won't be the person on the videos who talks us through all the new features and innovations and so on. So during Call of Duty Ghosts, he was normally the face of Infinity Ward. He would talk us through all the new features coming in Call of Duty Ghosts, for example, the new innovations they're introducing, some of the maps, extinction mode and so on. And once Call of Duty Ghosts was released, he'd also talk us through the DLC map packs, so the new features and streaks and so on within those particular maps, and also the next episode of extinction mode and so on. So he was essentially a cross between the face of Infinity Ward and also the community manager. Tina was also the community manager as well, but he kind of took a lead role in the marketing department, if that makes sense. But either way, Activision are saying nothing about his departure, and he has actually been inactive on Twitter since November 2013. So whether or not he departed shortly after Call of Duty Ghosts, the final DLC map pack, or he departed, let's say, at the start of 2015 even. Realistically, we'll probably never know the specifics behind his departure, but either way, he's now no longer part of the Call of Duty franchise, and we might see him again in the future, but it definitely won't be Call of Duty related. So moving on to the more specific information relating to the departure of Mark Rubin, the former lead designer Todd Alderman has actually returned to Infinity Ward. So Todd Alderman was the lead designer during the Modern Warfare series, and he was also among the 38 members of the Infinity Ward employee group that sued Activision after the release of Modern Warfare 2, and the reason behind that was because they weren't paid bonuses for their work on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So it kind of all started when the Infinity Ward co-founders Jason West and Vince Zampella were fired shortly after the release of Modern Warfare 2, kicking off a load of lawsuits in both directions surrounding the studio in Modern Warfare 2. So West and Zampella later formed Titanfall developer Respawn Entertainment, and Todd Alderman actually worked at Respawn for a while before departing during 2012 or around that kind of time. More recently, he's been a game designer at Riot Games, but generally speaking, he stayed away from the Call of Duty franchise for the past 5 years. Rightly so, of course, because he did leave under the circumstances of a lawsuit. But either way, he had a very quick Polygon interview recently where he said the chance to come back to an Infinity Ward and Call of Duty is something I didn't expect would ever happen. It's been 5 years since I've been here, and a lot has changed. There are a lot of new faces and motivated people who want to make something great. It's a really cool game concept that I want to be part of, and I can't wait to see what we do with the 3-year development cycle. So he's obviously very excited to be back at Infinity Ward, and hopefully he reignites the flame that brought us Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. I think we can all agree that they're one of the best games in the Call of Duty franchise. In terms of who will replace Mark Rubin, realistically we have no idea, given the fact of course their game is 2 years away, and we're all getting hyped for Treyarch's next game in November 2015. So we won't find anything out until approximately 12 to 13 months from now in terms of hints and teasers for Infinity Ward's next game. Realistically speaking, Infinity Ward have tarnished the reputation somewhat of Call of Duty Ghosts. I know a lot of us were not fans of Call of Duty Ghosts whatsoever, so they're really going to have to turn it around next year, and I just can't see them coming up with Call of Duty Ghosts 2. So hopefully we have something completely new, completely different, but also has that original flame from Call of Duty 4, for example, or Modern Warfare 2. So with Mark Rubin now gone, it doesn't necessarily mean Infinity Ward are fixed and that's it. They're going to smash out an amazing game in 2016. There are plenty of factors and characteristics involved as to why Call of Duty Ghosts was not so great, but it doesn't necessarily mean it was Mark Rubin's fault or Tina's fault, for example, just because they were the face of Infinity Ward at the time. I kind of feel sorry for some of these community managers because they do get a ton of hate simply because, let's say, the damage is changed on a sniper in a latest patch, for example. So they are subjected to tons of hate just because they're trying to better the experience for Call of Duty players as a whole. But at the end of the day, you can't please everyone all the time. It's just not the way the world works at the end of the day. But that being said, they have made some high-profile hires recently at Infinity Ward. So, for example, they've taken some guys from Naughty Dog who recently developed The Last of Us, for example. And they have also merged Neversoft with Infinity Ward. So they've taken the count of employees from 100 to 250. So it's definitely a bigger backbone behind Infinity Ward now. So hopefully that helps them, push towards bringing out an amazing game in 2016. The kind of game we expect to see from Infinity Ward, given the fact, of course, they pioneered Call of Duty back in 2003, and they continue to pioneer with Modern Warfare all the way up to Modern Warfare 3, and then, of course, it kind of went downhill slightly with Call of Duty Ghosts. But again, there was tons of things happening at the same time, lawsuits and so on. So it's not necessarily entirely their fault. There's tons of other things that take place at the same time. But either way, hopefully we see something amazing in 2016. But again, it doesn't necessarily rest on the fact that Mark Rubin has now left, but hopefully with all the changes they've made recently, they're going to work towards bringing back that Call of Duty 4 feel to the Call of Duty franchise. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. If you're, surprised, shocked, or not so surprised about Mark Rubin's departure, let me know. Let me know if you're excited for Call of Duty Ghosts 2 or not, or if you're more excited for Treyarch's next game. And also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button. And thank you for watching, guys. Be sure to subscribe for further Charlie Intel Call of Duty content. I appreciate you watching this video. Goodbye.